Hello, and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
The Obama administration has approved a shipment of 130 tons of natural uranium from Russia to Iran to compensate Iran for exporting tons of reactor coolant. Experts have told U.S. media outlets the amount of uranium to be shipped is enough to produce 10 nuclear bombs. The move was also approved by the other governments involved in the deal, seeking to keep Tehran committed to the 2015 landmark nuclear pact. The announcement of the new shipment is seen as one more last-minute jab from the Obama White House at incoming President Trump, who probably would have vetoed the shipment, even though the amount of uranium is within what's allowable under the 2015 deal. Last month, the International Atomic Energy Agency, or the IAEA, warned that at current production levels, Iran is going to exceed its cap on low-enriched uranium. Iran has already exceeded the cap on heavy water production, used as the coolant in the nuclear reactors, multiple times since the agreement was signed. According to Iran analyst Omri Keren, quote, "The Iranians have continued to produce heavy water, and they exceeded the cap in February and November of 2016. The violations are functionally blackmailing the Obama administration, because either someone would purchase the excess heavy water, allowing Iran to literally profit from violating the deal, or the Iranians would go into formal non-compliance, endangering the deal," end quote. The Iranian JCPOA nuclear agreement is seen by many in the Israeli government and around the world as a complete failure, as Iran has continued progressing its ballistic missile testing, has continued supporting terror organizations worldwide, has yet to allow the IAEA probe of high-profile Iranian sites, and has continued pursuing nuclear weapons. President-elect Donald Trump's choice for Secretary of State criticized the outgoing Obama administration for its handling of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, telling senators at his confirmation hearing yesterday that UN Security Council Resolution 2334 was not helpful to achieving peace and undermines the condition for peace talks to continue. Secretary of State-designate Rex Tillerson told members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee that direct talks between the Israelis and Palestinians are possible and still the goal, and he supported a two-state solution which he said was the dream that everyone is in pursuit of. Tillerson was forthright in stating how President-elect Trump has already made it clear that the United States was going to meet its obligations to Israel as the most important ally in the region, and that the U.S. would make a clear statement to that effect through policy actions should he be confirmed by the Senate. According to the Jewish Telegraphic Agency, Tarek El-Aissami, the newly appointed vice president of Venezuela, quote, has been accused of anti-Semitism and ties to Iran and the terrorist group Hezbollah, end quote. The JTA continues to report that El-Aissami, quote, allegedly is part of a Venezuelan state drug trafficking network, has ties to Iran and Syria, and is a known entity by U.S. intelligence, end quote. The new vice president also allegedly has, quote, relations to the Colombian terrorist FARC army, according to the Simon Wiesenthal Center's Latin American representative, Ariel Gelblum. El-Aissami was the interior minister under the late Venezuelan president Hugo Chavez, who had ties to Islamic terrorists. Gelblum continued in his statement to express fear that Tarek El-Aissami may transform anti-Semitism into state policy and further threaten Jewish lives in Venezuela. The Arab-Israeli newspaper Kul al-Arab is reporting that Qatar is mediating between Israel and Hamas in a potential prisoner exchange deal. The transaction would secure the release of Lieutenant Hadar Golden and Staff Sergeant Oron Shaul, who were both killed during Operation Protective Edge in the summer of 2014. The deal may also involve the return of Avraham Abraham Mengistu, an Ethiopian Israeli being held hostage by Hamas after Mengistu was seen crossing the border into Gaza on his own volition in 2014. According to the report, Hamas made the talks provisional upon the release of 60 prisoners who had been released in the Shalit deal, and who were subsequently arrested at various stages following its implementation. The report said that Israel agreed to the demand on the condition that the released prisoners are expelled to the Gaza Strip or Qatar. This suggestion, however, was apparently rejected by Hamas. Yuval Rotem, the Director General of the Foreign Ministry, is scheduled to visit Turkey in 2 weeks for increased discussions on regional issues in what is seen as the latest step of improved relations between the two countries. This is the first dialogue taking place between the Israeli and Turkish foreign ministries since May 2010, when Israeli commandos raided a Turkish flotilla to Gaza in which 8 Turkish nationals and 1 Turkish American were killed. Talks between Rotem and his Turkish counterpart will touch on regional issues, including the Syrian civil war, ties with Russia, and the situation in the Gaza Strip and West Bank. A week after that meeting, Turkey's Culture and Tourism Minister will visit Israel and take part in an international tourism expo in Tel Aviv. He will be the first Turkish minister to visit Israel in more than 7 years.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.